But we need to talk about this because when I saw this come up, it just made you think about, oh my gosh, like this was crazy. So I'm gonna get Star Wars Outlaws, yes, because since I'm doing this YouTube channel, I want to make sure, well, I want to do a first impressions on a live stream so you guys can see the game. And I'm going to do the same for Assassin's Creed Shadows, but this is the problem with, there's a big problem in gaming. So we're going to give this a read and then we're going to go from here. So German YouTube channel removes their Star Wars Outlaws preview video after admitting third-party agency had to approve it. And this is going to be a big problem going forward. But let's give this a read and then we'll go from there. So German YouTube channel Piet Smiet removed their Star Wars Outlaws previous video after admitting a third-party agency had to approve their nearly 1 hour reaction video after spending 4 hours with the game. So, in a post, the YouTuber said that they removed their Star Wars Outlaws previews video from their channel as translated by DeepL. One of their channel's owners stated, "Hi Peter here, we've taken the Star Wars video offline. Not because we wanted to sweep something under the carpet or anything, but because it should never have been published and we don't want it on the channel. We'll talk a bit more about this in the next Pietcast episode. I'm sorry." So the post came in the wake of a comment revealing that a third-party agency had to approve of Star Wars Outlaws previous video. So translated, I completely understand the arguments that were made here and that was not correct. I had the opportunity to play the game for 4 hours and it was edited into an over an hour video. As part of the review process though, the entire video was thrown back to us. An intermediary, sorry, I can't really speak, agency, not Ubisoft, asked for a lot of changes, especially to the wording at the beginning. But since I personally thought the game was really cool, I didn't see that as a big problem. This was a huge miscalculation. So it added, sorry, you don't have to pre-order. So it added, sorry, you don't have to pre-order a game, of course. You can buy whatever you like with your money. I absolutely enjoyed the version I was shown. The process behind it was for the ass. And I'm sorry that we didn't print more against it, but let ourselves be beaten wide open. Big sorry for that. So as for the wording in the opening of the video, a source who was able to view the video before Piet Smiet removed it from their channel informed that Park Place that Piet Smiet encouraged viewers to pre-order the game and shared that he liked the game. So video game developers working with third parties and trying to dictate positive sentiment is not unheard of. YouTuber Total Biscuit saw his review of Wild Game Studios' copyright strike by the developer after they previously supplied him with a review code. However, they did not like his negative review trashing the game. So is that why they basically copyright struck him? And I'll give you my thoughts on this at the end, because I've had a paid, Square Enix paid for a video for them, which I explained how it worked and some of the things I thought was a bit like, So Total Biscuit explained, long story short, development sends codes used to make critique, dev dislikes critique, dev abuses system to censor critique. But the YouTuber Jeremy Griggs of Geeks and Gamers documented how Naughty Dog colluded with Twitter in 2020 to get his Twitter account shut down after he repeatedly mocked the game. Okay, so cool. So we're just going on here now. So outside the video. So what else I heard, guys, about this is that I was reading, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Oh, I've forgotten the big YouTuber. And Ashmon Gold. You know who I'm talking about. I probably got his name wrong. But what else was shown on here is that so Ubisoft were paying for a lot of creators to fly out to play the game, but they were also they were going on like boat parties or going to Disneyland. And if you don't mind hitting the like button, that would be great. And I'll tell you, Will, I'll tell you. And so the problem is they flew them out to play the game, but then they're kind of like bribing them where you're like, listen, you're taking you Disneyland, we're taking you to like boat parties, we're taking you here. So basically what that would do is is that they've basically, once they're doing their reviews or they're doing their impressions of the game, it might cause them to go back to the audience and be like, well, listen, I don't want to be too negative because like Ubisoft just like flew me out. Do you really think Ubisoft are going to fly me out? Yeah, in your bra. Anyway, so that's the one issue with it. And the problem is when it's like first impressions of a video, with critiquing and stuff like that, this is Ubisoft. If you want to, you can. The problem is that are we ever going to get honest impressions of games anymore? Because they will do things for the creators, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh wow, it was a great game. But he had a good point, basically, just because he was saying about they're kind of bribing them, and it is a big thing in the industry. So I'll tell you my bits. I feel like, so there was one instance that I played, obviously, when Ubisoft, yeah, right, when Square Enix said they wanted me to do a dedicated video for Final Fantasy 14. I spoke to them and I was like, listen, I will always be honest, but I'll tell you what they did say. But even though it was an agent's fault, well, actually no, it was like a middleman for Square Enix. So I sent them the video and then they had a look at it and then they gave me some feedback. There was one bit I'll tell you that I edited. So I said to them before we agreed, I said, listen, I'm always honest with my audience. So I want to be as honest as possible. I've never played this sort of game, this MMO. So I'm not used to it. So I want to be entirely honest. And like, you can be as honest as you can. Let us know what you think, blah, blah, blah. So I remember that video, I did say, I was like, listen, I'm not used to this game. And I think I said at the start, I was like, mate, the first time I played it, there was just loads of stuff on the screen and I didn't understand it, which I did. And after I did play it, because I was nearly not going to do the video, because first 10 minutes, I was like, can I get used to this? And I really enjoyed the game. I did the video and I was honest as possible because I said it wasn't my sort of game, but I did get really addicted to it. And I said, there was one thing I said that I did take out because I was like, the game can be really addictive. So you're going to be like, you might get too addicted that you're wasting a lot of time. because there's no end to these MMOs. That's what I kind of felt like. I was like, man, I want to play a bit more. And there was a time that I was playing Final Fantasy 14. So when they got back to me and they said, I'm going to take this off, this is too hot. When they got back to me, they said, listen, could you take out the bit where you said you're going to be wasting time? And I was like, yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's more like a good thing. And I said, yeah, I'll take that out as happy because it's not like, because they're probably just like, oh, people might think you're wasted. Could you not? So I was happy with that because, I mean, in terms of, I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just take that out. But it's not like someone's going to be, oh my God, yeah, you're right. I'm wasting time gaming. I'm gone. Well, let's be honest, they weren't going to be like that. So, but I took it out. But I could see where it could become a problem imagine if for whatever reason they like flew me out and they were like, now we want a video from you. And I'm like, well, you've just taken me everywhere. It's the best game in the world. So that's why it's so, listen, it's very petty of them to do that. But I didn't mind it because I was like, I kept everything else in there. Maybe they'll probably like, listen, he says people are wasting time. But no, they were really happy after the edit and stuff. They were just like, listen, really love the video. Thanks for it, blah, blah, blah. And then that was it. So we'll let you know if there's stuff in the future. You never know. That's what these companies do. As long as I said, every time I get like, because I have got like other games and some of them I have tried. There was one other company sent me a game and I ended up not doing a video. But they just sent me a free code. They cancelled me. I can't remember the game. What was it called? Anyway, I played it and I didn't like it. And I just didn't do a video because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. So they actually sent me the code and they were like, listen, could you do a dead? And I was like, no. You know what? When I go on my PlayStation, I'll find it because it's an old game. It's a gaming is my favorite waste of time. Same. It's a game that was actually a sequel from like '97. I bet one of you will get it. I haven't put enough time on it. It's an okay game, but I just didn't really like that. It was just, Yeah, anyways, you know what I mean. So that's the problem with like these companies where you get these influencers and they're gonna fly them out. And I saw it, guys. I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see it with the Suicide Squad? I remember looking at a lot of Suicide Squad. There's one YouTuber I do look at, and I do like his YouTube videos, although I think he's a bit too nice sometimes. Caboose, I think he's a wicked YouTuber. He just does like DC and Marvel games, and I think he's great. And the only problem I find, though, is that during Suicide Squad, he was like, I really like the traversal, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you don't like the game. There's things that they could do with it, and I'm like, nah, he's trying to like, yeah, they did do a few sponsored videos for him, and I was just like, come on, man, the game is awful. Let's have a sip of coffee. So the problem with like YouTube and these things is that these influencers are going to be just, well, they're not really influencers, are they? That's what I mean, seeing so many fake reactions with gameplay, and for me, I will never get like that. Yeah, gamer ranks are wicked. Love gamer ranks. They're very honest, both of them. They've got Falcon and what's the other guy's name? I've forgotten his name. Damn it, I've forgotten his name. But you know what I mean. And but yeah, that's the thing. So Star Wars Outlaws. So I'm definitely going to be buying the game, and we're going to play it on stream for the first time, or I might do an edited playthrough. It depends. If it runs on a day we're streaming, I'll probably look to just do it on stream so you can get an official first reaction of like this. You never know, it might be good.